So let's get started now on the discussions. High Commissioner, I guess my first question begins with you, and that's the relevance of the Commonwealth in today's world. How involved is the Commonwealth in the issues that are faced globally, especially in member states?
I think you've just heard from that report that the Commonwealth, 53 heads of state and government who were there in London, made some really very important and very, very relevant commitments in that communique. Those discussion was about health. It was about halving malaria by 2023. It was about eliminating trachoma, blinding trachoma, which affects women and children in Africa especially. It was about 12 years of quality education. It was about pollution and the plastics. It was about trade, which is, of course, all about the economy and jobs and youth. So I think it was a very relevant meeting. It was a very relevant communique. And those commitments are there for everybody to see in the communique which has been published. So, yes, I think the organisation is very relevant. And I think it will continue to be even more so under the British, over the next 2 years when the British have chair in office of the organisation.
Well, let's talk about the impacts of the Commonwealth in countries such as Nigeria. We'll start with Mr. Femi Adesina. Have we felt the impact of the Commonwealth? I mean, we go every year. I mean, every 2 years. We go every 2 years. So have we felt the impact of the Commonwealth in certain issues such as security, right now with the farmers' herders crisis and with all the issues, security issues especially, that we seem to be facing in this country? Are we feeling the impacts of the Commonwealth? I know the British government does a lot, for Nigeria in that regard, but do we really feel the impacts of the Commonwealth?
Yes, I believe it's better to be in than to be out. It serves Nigeria better to be in the Commonwealth than to be out of it. Remember that we have been suspended from that association one time before, during the Abacha days, and the ostracism was bad enough for the country. And when we were readmitted, it was something good for Nigeria. So I believe that it's better for us to be in the Commonwealth than out of it. The very fact that 53 countries were meeting and Nigeria was there is good enough for the country. And the issues that were on the table, in a way, were even Nigerian issues. If you look at the communique, nearly every point of that communique is relevant to Nigeria. So I believe it's good for us to be there.
Ambassador KESHI, is it better to be in or out?
Well, I guess it's better to be in than out. But when you go back to the start of the Commonwealth, like when we were young and growing up, we heard a lot about the Commonwealth. In our adult life, I do know that we used to celebrate the Commonwealth in this country. I don't know whether we still do today. There used to be a lot of activities around the Commonwealth and what the Commonwealth, was doing in terms of education, in terms of health, you just name it. But as time, went on, we began, particularly after we came back to the Commonwealth a couple of years ago, we started hearing less and less of the presence of the Commonwealth in the life of this country. I'm not saying it's not there, but as the High Commissioner said, all these issues that were discussed, and Femi did mention it, they should have some impact because these are also issues we're dealing with. But my concern is how do we get these things properly implemented so that it can impact in the lives of the people. When you take issues like education, for example, there was a time there was a considerable scholarship given to people from the Commonwealth countries and so on. There was a time it was easy to get visas, for example, to go into any of these Commonwealth countries. Trade was high and the rest of it. Today, when you talk of trade in terms of 9%, it's practically nothing to write home about.
Yes, we'll come to the issue of trade later, but I'd like to hear from the acting High Commissioner to Nigeria, the Jamaican acting High Commissioner. Do you feel the Commonwealth, the impact of the Commonwealth in your country?
Yes, as a small island developing state, multilateralism is the favored system of global governance for us. given our vulnerabilities of lack of military power, lack of economic power, and vulnerability to external shocks, we rely on a strong multilateral system. The Commonwealth, through its charter, promotes multilateralism in a very big way, and certainly over the decades has proven itself as a very strong advocate in highlighting the vulnerabilities and the special needs and concerns of small island developing states. It has been invaluable in placing such issues on the global governance agenda over the years. So in that regard, the Commonwealth serves as a veritable, a very unique forum for small states diplomacy, and a very good avenue through which small states can seek to influence the shaping of an international environment which is conducive to the achievement of their development goals. So I say all that to say that Jamaica values the Commonwealth, it values its ties with the Commonwealth, and has always and continues to play an active role in the Commonwealth.
Yes.
And not only as a recipient, but also in the decision making, and as a responsible member of the international community, has also participated in such things as the electoral observer missions and CMAG.
I look forward to hearing your thoughts, more on your thoughts after the break.
Yes.
When we come back, we'll take a deeper look at some of the issues discussed at the Commonwealth meeting in London. We'll be talking trade, education, and everything else. Stay with us.